And I'm absolutely first and foremost giving people opportunity to do it themselves, to either demote or promote themselves. Okay, it's all on you. And I'm articulating that to them so it makes sense. This is the Uncensored podcast with Robert Peppo.
Do you think people will vote for me?
What's up, everybody? This is Robert Peppo with episode number 41 of Uncensored with Robert Peppo. Today, I'm doing two things. One, I'm testing a new setup, testing this new lighting. If you're watching this, I don't really like it, but I'm going to go ahead and do this because I've been fucking with it for too long, and now I just want to put it out before I get all in my head about how good it's got to look, how nice it's got to sound, and all that other bullshit that goes in it, because content is king. If I deliver valuable information, that wins, okay? I'll figure out the rest of it as I go. But today, I want to talk about hard conversations. So I just had to deal with this situation, okay? Hard conversations are something that everyone wants to avoid, okay? The paradox is that you really should not avoid them, okay? Open, honest, direct communication, especially when trying to build something or when it's an important decision or with your spouse, it skips all the bullshit, okay? That's what we want to achieve, okay? So, hard conversations. I had to have one with an employee, okay? But how I had started the conversation and how I wanted to approach it was that I'm not going to just come direct and attack, even though I could. I felt full well that I could have just came out hard and, laid down the law and been like, well, this is what you did. You fucked up and this is the result. Okay. But I don't like that approach necessarily. There was a time and place for that in my past. And there still is a time and place for that when the situation warrants it. But if the situation is unique and different, because everybody is unique and different, you need to approach these things in a different way. Okay. You need to approach it how that person is. What are their characteristics? How do they respond to things? What is their vibe? As a good leader, you have to know that so you know how to address people, right? It's kind of like matching the energy. It's kind of like talking their language. It's resonating with them. No one wants to be attacked and put in the spotlight, even if they've done something. You need to approach it constructively, okay? Especially like me when I'm trying to build something, and it's very important to have that team on the same page and deal with the hard things, set an example, set the tone, but be stern in how you do that, but also be thoughtful and caring in how you do these things. So I addressed it first like, hey, look, we want you here. We know what value you could bring. We see it come out of you, okay? We see the good things that you can do. We see your potential. I'm a big proponent in seeing people's potential and trying to bring that out of them. Okay, I think people can do a whole lot more than they allow themselves to do. Now, whatever that is that holds you back from that, that's a personal thing. I can't make that make sense for you, but I can tell you how I see it. And because I've seen a lot of things, I've been a lot of places, I've done a lot of stuff, I feel like I have a really good, solid judgment of what people can do based on what they've said, based on their actions, based on the glimmers of good shit that they've already done. And then I can also identify the weaknesses and see where, like, why are you doing that? I see why you might have done that. I see why even the things outside of work and business and things could affect you in the way in which you do things. So I take all these things into consideration, and you should too. Most things that happen aren't just, well, this happened, that's it, okay? There's usually a whole lot more. If you don't understand the whole lot more of it, you're going to be short-sighted and probably end up having more difficulties, more confrontation, more bullshit, more drama. Fuck all that, okay? At this stage in my career, I went through all of that stuff to get to where I am today. Now, I'm on a whole different trajectory in how I'm not only treating people, dealing with people, addressing things to move forward. And I'm absolutely, first and foremost, giving people opportunity to do it themselves, to either demote or promote themselves. Okay, it's all on you. And I'm articulating that to them so it makes sense. Because even if you can't apply that today, at some point in your life, perhaps it will resonate and you will get a better result for yourself. That's my whole goal. My whole goal is to have everyone do as good as they can. That's good for that person. Pride, effort, feeling of accomplishment. Your people around you see what you're doing, and we can all support that. Very good. If you take that outside of us, you've developed a little bit, and now you're just better for that. That's just good. There's no downside to doing that. And some people don't necessarily resonate with that if you speak to them about it, but that's on them. It's not on you. It takes nothing away from you, and usually only gains the good that will come out of it, okay? Maybe that's work performance. Maybe that's happiness, whatever it is. So back to the story. We had a tough conversation, and I was like, hey, I see a lot of value in you. I see what you could do, but this next step is all on you, okay? This is what I see happening. This is the trend. This is what's been going on, and for some time, I wanted you to adjust. Okay. I wanted you to figure it out yourself, right? We wanted to leave little clues around to be like, hey, can you do it? Let's let you bring it out of you. But if you can't, here I am. Now we're going to talk about it. Now we're going to address it. And I'm fine with that. That's the role and responsibility of a boss, as an owner, as a leader, as someone in the position to bring people to the next level. Okay. I have to do that. There's no avoiding it. So since there's no avoiding that, there's no avoiding tough conversations ever anyway. You can avoid it, but they don't go away. So what's the point in that? There's no value there either. So the only real relevant option is to address it in the right way and move forward from it. Okay. And that moving forward from it might not be ideal. It might not be what you think it is, but that's at least going to get you to that point. Okay. At least you will know. At least you will know where the other person stands. At least they will know where you stand. Okay. No one's going to be around forever. Okay. But can we make this the best it can be now? Can we do the best together today for a better outcome? And if we can, let's do that, okay? And if we don't, then no problem. I'd rather know now than wait and figure that out later at some other point, all right? So we had the conversation. I started off with the good first, okay? This is what I see out of you. This is what I want. This is what you have voiced that you want. This is where I think you can rise up to. And with us right now, it's nearly limitless. It's quite literally whatever the people on the corporate team decide. And if someday they want to own 2 stores, 5 stores, 10 stores, they can. Okay, it's literally all on you. When I started this year, when everything that I was building for 2 years was done, I started this year refocusing and telling people what I now expect, okay? There's 2 things. The only thing I expect is attitude and effort. It's the only thing I will judge you on. It's the only thing I will hire or promote or demote you on. It's the only thing I actually care about now. Everything else can be accomplished if you have good attitude and good effort, okay? Conversely, all the opportunity will go away if you have a bad attitude and lack effort, okay? These 2 things, attitude and effort, will supersede almost anything over a long period of time, which is what my business is and what we're going to do, okay? Skills can be developed, okay? If people have good soft skills, the rest of the other skills can be developed. The training, we can train, okay? How we do things, it can be learned. I don't care if it takes 1 year. If you have good attitude and effort, great. If it takes you 1 month, excellent. Doesn't matter to me. Attitude and effort is the only thing I care about, okay? Other than that, I'm a stickler for being on time. Maybe that's because of the Army. Maybe that's because that's how I've always been. I don't know. But I like when people show up on time. Pretty simple, right? But I actually am flexible and don't really hold that against people if you just tell me. If you just tell me and we talk about it and I know what's going on, we good, okay? That's a moot point besides the attitude and effort, okay? So that's what we were addressing. When you're on, okay? When you have a good attitude, dude, it's dope. The kitchen runs good. Everybody's vibing. Let's have that, right? We're trading valuable time to be together, to be in this space, to do this thing. There's opportunity literally right now that's nearly being handed to you. All we need is a little bit of effort, right? Because none of this shit's easy, to get to the next point, which this person says they want to get to. They have ambition for this, this, and this, okay? I'm going to bring that out of you. And I asked, do you have anyone in your life that is, talks to you sternly, that pushes you, that pulls you, that, speaks directly to you about what the realities of shit is? She said no. So I was like, well, here the fuck I am. Unfortunately, that's me today, right? But you could use this as a development tool, I guess, or a development, mind shifting idea into anything else that you do. I hope you stay, which, she is, which is great. But people, especially young people, need to be developed, okay? Young people haven't had all this experience to understand how all these things add up and all these things roll into the next thing, or how these things affect other things, right? From opportunity, right? To happiness, to wondering why shit doesn't work out. Let's skip that bullshit and listen to someone who's really going to tell you the truth about these things, and let's get to a better spot. And that's a better spot for you and for me, and that means for everybody, okay? Because if I do good, you do good. If you do good, I do good. This is a win-win situation. So I put some parameters out there. We sat down and said, hey, we got to do this. I really want to see this out of you, and you can earn it right back, right? Then you'll be right on the same track. But if you don't, then this is your decision, and we build around that. But I need to know now because I'm building something, and I can't not know. I'm going to make my decisions either way, right? But I want to let you make that decision for yourself, and I'll act accordingly. I think that's the right way to go about these things. I don't think there's any right answer to tough conversations, but if you can approach it in a constructive, positive, put something good first mentality, break the guard down, let them know, like, yo, this is what the reality is, but let's move forward. Then also listen to them, open it up. What do you got? Sometimes these hard conversations are hard to think about these things, right? We need to resonate on them. We need to think about, oh man, well, how is this going to affect that? Fine, no problem. But you should always end it with something, some insight. Let that person speak, answer their questions, be open and honest in whatever they're saying and what's going on, because you don't really know. And if they don't choose to tell you anything, no problem. You all can act accordingly. But if they do, now you know more, and now you can be a better leader too, right? I see no downside in this way of addressing hard conversations. So with that, I hope you found some value out of this quick down and dirty one. I appreciate you guys. Keep fucking with me. Lots more dope stuff coming soon. Robert Peppo, out.